Good evening, or morning, or night, or whatever time it is, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Raspberry Plays.
Oh my God, you did it!
By some miracle of God, I have fixed the predicament from our last episode, which to you was 2 weeks ago, and that's the end of this level.
We were right there, Jesus.
You had to wait for all that. How do you feel about yourself?
Well, hell, roll the intro again.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Raspberry Plays, where we have just finished that level.
Meow, meow.
What's the grade? What's the grade? What's the grade?
Just enough to pass.
Just enough to pass. Story of my life.
that
Thank you
feels-
so much.
That feels about right.
We got three rings, four supreme
They're like
rings.
Emblems or something. Escape from the chaotic.
We just got here. What was our objective?
Great, you made it. Now get
Now
the hell
get
out.
out.
Rated R starts Friday.
Get out. Go down the pre-animated corkscrew run, which is actually kind of fun. Not gonna lie.
The blue pathways, which I always like to imagine. You ever been to it? You know when you go to a putt-putt golf course
Yes.
that has water, and the water's really blue because they dye it, which I'm sure is horrible for the
Yep.
water and the
Yep,
environment,
Yep.
but it looks really cool.
Looks so cool.
It's almost like a lake. It's almost like a man-made lake filled with barbicide.
It looks so refreshing when you see it.
It's I
I almost want to drink it. I know I shouldn't, but I want to every time.
blue makes it seem like it's gonna be so thirst
It looks like it's gonna be so good.
good. I always like to imagine that the pathways were filled with blue golf course water.
Yeah. Okay. I'm into that.
Which, incidentally, if you are ever the opportunity to work at a golf course, don't, because it sucks. Actually, there are worse.
Out of all the jobs you've had, is that the worst one, or
Ooh, I don't.
So I mean, I'm gonna end that sentence before I sound like I'm just having a stroke. So
I don't know. It's hard to say. Different jobs sucked in different ways. I never loved being a ballet dancer because I hated ballet company life. I just thought it was.
not
We're
great.
past the minute mark, right? I always thought it was bullshit.
Yeah.
I always thought.
Actually, yes, we are. We can use the timer from this game to find out.
Oh, sweet, perfect. Oh, Sonic Heroes. You fail us in so many ways, but
But
succeed.
that
in-
one is a little helpful.
We found the game within the game. It's using the game as a timer.
And that we just also happen to be playing a Sonic game.
Right. Yeah, all the gigs have their ups and downs, as all jobs do. I like to think I'm enough of an adult to know that everything has its ups and downs.
Like Tails flying.
Like Tails.
Has his ups and downs. And I will keep referring to Tails as a girl by mistake. Please get in the comments and tell me I'm an idiot, because this I do know.
You're assuming his gender. That's
It's just rude.
yeah. Anyway, ballet life has its ups and downs. I like it a lot more now that I just do. I always like to say guest artist work. It sounds more hoi polloi than it actually is, but if I say guest dancing, I really just sound like a stripper. Which, whatever. But guest dancing is way more fun than being in a company ever was, because when you're in a ballet company, you're locked in for, however many weeks your contract is. Ours was just a little shy of 40 by the time I was done at Orlando Ballet, by the time I left. And that's a long time. That's a long time to be locked in with everybody. And it's not like a desk job where, you can sort of beat the monotony sometimes by, I'm going to go to the break room, or I'm in a cubicle all day, which is a different kind of soul-crushing. I get that. But when you're in a ballet company, you're working with these people 8 hours a day, 5, sometimes 6, sometimes 7 days a week, depending on whether or not it's a performance week. So that sucked. Because I just never fit with those people.
Now compare that to putt-putt golf attendee.
Well, first we got to get through Sam Ash. Yeah. Working at Sam Ash might have been the worst job I ever had.
Ooh.
Because I will, in favor of the, because it was a sales job, it was retail. So I was getting paid on commission. I mean, you got a flat rate fee, but it was basically minimum wage. And the rest was on commission and what they called breaking base. For those of you who tuned into...
What the... oh, no.
Yep, it sure is a Sonic game. Just keep going.
Oh, boy.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Or if it is broke, don't fix it.
It is.
Because it benefits you. And then dash along the rings.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, what?
That is not the last time we are going to encounter some shit like that in this game.
I cannot wait, dude.
You'll get him. No, you were going to do it. It was going to work.
Nah, I'm just going to punch him.
So, yeah, Sam Ash worked on a base breaking system, which basically meant you got paid minimum wage just for being there for the 4 or 8 hours
Right,
a
but
day
you
that
made
you were
more
there.
for having to peddle gear to people who may not,
Right.
may or may not know.
You were only getting a cut of each sale. So if I sold a $2,000 Korg Chronos, I think I got maybe 10% of that. So $200, great. But I would only get get 50 of those dollars because first I had to break the base pay of $150. So I had to break $150 in sales, and then everything I made after that I got to keep. But here's the thing. They would pay you out with the commission system on a monthly basis. So you had to break base every week. You had to do $150 in sales every single week just to break base every week. And it was punitive, too, because if, let's say, I did $200 or $300 in commission the first week of the month, but then didn't break base the next week, they would take that $150 out of the commission that I made the week before. So if I had made $200 my first week and didn't break base the second week,
oh no,
I would
so
I would
stupid.
only wind up with $50 in commission, and that's assuming, and that commission wouldn't come until the end of the month. So I had to break base again in order to make some of that money back, and then I had to keep selling. So basically, it was a minimum wage job, and it sucked working there because, like, if you got younger people coming in, they didn't know what they wanted. They were like, "Yo, give me the newest iMac." It's like you're just starting with a home recording
you
thing.
don't need it.
You don't
but
need this.
also fine, I guess.
But the thing is, I tried not to sell them that stuff because it's like you're gonna return this in a week, and I'm gonna lose whatever commission I make.
oh, you would lose it if they did a return.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, and I'm also going to waste time that I could be using to sell to people who actually know what they want by processing your stupid return. So it was a no-win situation. But then older people were no better because a lot of them were like baby boomer aged people, and I'm not gonna like paint with a broad brush and say like all boomers are like this. Obviously they're not. But it was a certain kind of boomer. It was usually a male, usually between the ages of like 45 and 60, who, if you actually knew what you were talking about, which occasionally I did, they would take it as you being smart with them. It's like, no, I'm just trying to tell you.
Help you, man.
This is the thing that you actually need. You're asking me for a Korg Chronos when really what you more likely want is a Yamaha, like a $600 base Yamaha keyboard. That's what you actually need. And I wouldn't phrase it to them like that. I was like, well, for this money, you might want to go with this. And even upon saying that,
excuse me, I think I know what I want. I think I know. What
even
we're
upon
doing.
saying that once, they would just look at me and be like, okay. And then they would go to someone older in the department and buy it
lame.
from them because they're like, well, this guy knows what he's talking about. It's like, no, you just like him because he's the same age as you,
lame.
and he doesn't have erectile, and he also has erectile dysfunction.
You can relate about that.
Like, so, yeah, Sam Ash sucked. But I learned about MIDI while I was there. I got put in keyboards and recording, which is hilarious because I was a guitar player. And
Oh man,
just barely.
So just trying to figure that out.
Yeah. Incidentally, though, like, none of the current setup in Raspberry Pi would exist without me knowing about MIDI. Because after I learned about that, I was like, oh, well, I don't need to record live drums anymore, which is such an ordeal. And like, drum recording's a lot of fun, but it's
a lot. It's a lot of microphones in a specific room, and
yeah, they're very
trying to get
specific.
that right.
There's specific criteria for it, and like you can run into phase issues, all sorts of stuff. So using sample drums is so much easier. And once I figured that out, it was like the first person to. It was like the implementation of the wheel or something.
Yeah.
This is a whole paradigm
Game
shift.
changer. Yeah.
It's like the Cambrian explosion, where prior to, no living species had eyes, and then all of a sudden,
They can all see.
yeah, it's like, wow, this completely changes the dynamic of the way that everything is done on this planet. That it was like that. I realize there's a game happening in the background.
It's fine. It's Sonic Heroes, so that's you really don't have to follow it.
And then working at the putt-putt golf course was a nice relief from Sam Ash with regards to the fact that,
Those fireballs sure look hot. Oh, thank you so much.
well, wouldn't have figured that
Telling
out.
me that balls of fire might be dangerous
Or hot.
or hot.
Not even dangerous, just hot.
That actually is really tricky. They actually
Fire,
are
hot.
kind of tricky.
Yeah, but the golf course was kind of a nice relief from Sam Ash just because I didn't have to break base. It's like, well,
Yeah, okay. Just got to hang out, do your shit, deal with the people,
yeah.
trying to do their best with their families that are also all old and frustrated.
Yeah. Well,
But you're not have to like, force anyone down anything's throat or anything.
yeah, there was no pressure of like, well, you got to sell on this. It's just like, show up, be on time, don't be a jerk to the customers, go out and clean the course every hour or so, which was my favorite thing to do because it got me out of the starter house.
Oh, well, you would have to do with customers.
I would have to deal with customers and also my coworkers who, like, man, one of them really loved listening to right-wing talk radio, and I didn't.
You ain't having it.
I hated that guy. So cleaning the course every hour was great, except for the time that I caught two teenagers having sex in Blackbeard's cave. But that's another story for the next
For the next episode.
of
Raspberry
Raspberry Place.
Which
Actually, have we hit the timer yet?
I feel like we're probably at 7 minutes twice, but I feel like we're so close to beating this level. Just kidding, I died. This is the perfect time to wrap up.
Cool. Yeah. So I'll tell more about that story next time on Raspberry Play.
Bye!
Two teens having sex. Two teens having sex. Two teens having sex. Two teens having sex in front of Blackbeard.